Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of BBP News. I'm Nicholas Rod, Chris Baker, here with you on this Friday morning for another round of news. Chris, start us off, as you always do, with the weather.
In Los Angeles, California, it's partly cloudy, 80 with a sunny weekend. Houston, Texas, it is sunny, 67 with a sunny weekend. In Chicago, Illinois, it is sunny, 56 with a mostly sunny weekend. And in New York City, sunny, 56 with another sunny weekend.
It's a lot of sun. You know, usually we have at least one of these cities that's like downpour, thunderstorms, just out the wazoo all weekend. But no, it's a miracle.
Ta-da! You know what? I don't care. I don't care.
You don't care?
You know what? It snowed yesterday where I live. I don't care if it's stunning for the next 10 days. It snowed on November 3rd. No.
I mean, at least it's not the earliest we've had snow. There have been points around here where it has snowed at like the beginning of October. So it
no
could
one
be
asked
worse.
for your logical solutions. So
It could be worse. I'm just saying.
the day that it's worse is the day that you know all hell will break loose.
Yeah. Well, you know, the one thing I can say about right now and, you know, it getting colder and the snow that you're so upset about is that it has given me the great opportunity to start drinking hot chocolate again without feeling terrible, because I don't know about you, but I can't drink hot cocoa in the summer or even the early fall because it just feels wrong. But I had hot cocoa for the first time yesterday, for this year, and it made me very happy.
I hope you get a hot cocoa allergy where you can no longer drink it.
See, okay, no, so that didn't happen. I did mess up, though. I did mess up. You know, you would think, because I made it with the powder, like, that you get in the can at the store. You know, you would think that's very simple, very easy to do. You heat up the water, then you stir the powder in. Simple, easy. Evidently not, because I screwed it up. I'm standing there at the I'm standing there at the counter, you know, just making my cocoa. I fill the cup with water. Then I start putting the powder in, and in my head I'm going, yeah, this is correct. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. I finish putting the powder in, and I'm standing there at the counter with a cup of cold water and cocoa powder. I'm like, something about this equation doesn't feel right. Well, obviously it's not right, because you're supposed to heat up the water first. So I had to dump it in the sink, start all over, and
Wait. Why would you dump it in the sink? You just put it in the microwave.
Because I couldn't stir. It would not stir into the cold water. Like, it would not stir.
That's why you put it in the microwave, take it out, stir it, and then it's all done.
See, but with my luck, if I had put it in the microwave in that state, powder would have gone everywhere somehow. I wasn't going to take that chance.
Because that's not how it works.
In my world, I don't trust that. I don't trust that
You
at all.
don't trust the one of us that cooks more than the other?
Well, what I'm saying is, at that point in time, I did not trust that it wouldn't do that, so I just started over.
Okay, so what we learned here today is Nick doesn't know how to use a freaking microwave.
I know how to use the microwave, I just I didn't trust that it wouldn't go everywhere.
But somehow you put something in the microwave and it came out cold.
No. What? No. What I'm saying was, I put the first time, I put the powder in before putting it in the microwave. Like,
well, that just makes you look even dumber.
Yeah, no, I had completely mixed up the process.
You should have just took the win of, for some reason, it didn't warm up in the microwave. So odd.
Yeah, no. I did the process completely backwards. I tried to put the powder in before putting the water in the microwave. So, good job to me. Trust me, I know. I was standing there, I face palmed myself because there's no coming back from that.
Do you put creamer in your hot chocolate?
No.
Whipped cream?
That I would do, but we didn't have any. I hear the disappointment.
First, you mess up cooking a hot chocolate, which makes me never want to allow you near a stove. And then B, you don't put creamer in it. And C, you didn't have any whipped cream.
We didn't have any. I would have put some in if we had some, but I didn't.
Let me teach you a little something, something, something.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have whipped cream, you make the whipped cream.
I didn't want to put in that much commitment to it at the time.
All it takes is a thing of heavy whipping cream, a splash of vanilla, and then turn your blender all the way on high and walk away, take a poop, and come back, and you've got homemade whipped cream.
Yeah, I didn't want to put that much commitment in at the time. I just wanted my
This
cup
is
of hot
why I
cocoa.
don't. This is why I don't. You do something, and you don't do it right.
Look, I just wanted my hot cocoa. I eventually succeeded after screwing up the first time. But that, it worked out in the end.
I'm done talking to you about this.
I know, you're angry at me, but that's why we have news to get into. So we can focus on that, your anger can be lessened, and we can all just walk away happy.
So getting right into the news, shortly after midnight Wednesday, Republican Glenn Youngkin was named the new governor of the state of Virginia. He says he is going to give parents back their voices in the public school system, and he won by 9% or 72,496 votes. New Jersey was supposed to be an easy race for Democrats, and the current governor, Phil Murphy, did win re-election, but that election was not until later Wednesday afternoon. Eric Adams became the second mayor of New York City, and Democrat Chantel Brown won the election in the U.S. House in Ohio's 11th congressional district. And then Republican Mike Carey wins the special election for the House seat in Ohio's 15th congressional district.
The IRS just announced this week 430,000 people recently got a refund for the unemployment tax credit. In the most recent batch of corrections, most people got $1,189. The IRS says they made all the corrections and refunds for the simplest tax returns, and now they will start concentrating on the complicated returns for those who are filing as married. This is all the result of the stimulus that passed in March. Lawmakers decided to exclude the first $10,200 of 2020 unemployment benefits from being taxed. The situation is, back in March, people had paid their tax bill, so the IRS is going through the process of returning the taxes paid on the first $10,200. If you got one of these refunds, you need to keep an eye open for a letter in the mail, because about 30 days from the refund, the IRS will send you a letter explaining how much you got and any other debts you may owe. The IRS says there will be one more batch of unemployment tax refunds to those who are eligible by the end of the year.
Your 5 to 11-year-old can now get vaccinated against COVID-19. That is because the CDC has officially recommended Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for young kids from age 5 to 11. This is under the emergency use authorization. This is after the CDC's independent advisory panel met and voted unanimously to agree with the FDA's recommendation. After the FDA agreed, almost immediately after, the CDC also signed off on it. The shipments for the vaccine has already been sent out all across the country. You can get it at mass vaccination locations, doctors' offices, and pharmacies across the country.
So what do parents need to know? First, if you have a young child and you have questions about the vaccine for your child, you should talk to their pediatrician. Second, the children's dose of the COVID-19 vaccine is 1/3 of the dose given to teenagers and adults. Third, the American Academy of Pediatrics put out a statement endorsing the vaccine and says it is safe and effective. The COVID-19 vaccine is fully approved by the CDC and FDA for those over the age of 16 and approved under emergency use authorization for those ages 5 to 15.
At some point soon, we are going to be hearing from the Labor Department and OSHA for the new rules for U.S. companies with more than 100 employees through the president's COVID-19 vaccine mandate or regular testing. As we told you back in September, the president ordered the Labor Department to come up with the rule under emergency temporary standard, and that same day he also signed an executive order mandating the COVID-19 vaccine with no testing options for all federal employees or contractors. To be clear, as of right now, OSHA's rule has not been made public, but since September, OSHA and the Labor Department have been meeting with interested corporate parties and unions to come up with the best solution for the private sector. While we are waiting for that rule to be released, you should understand that the mechanics the White House is using under the Labor Department, mainly OSHA emergency temporary standards. First, understand once OSHA publishes these rules, the rules take effect immediately, and once it is in effect, also serves as a proposed permanent standard.
OSHA says it only uses this particular emergency standard for limited standards, including if OSHA determines workers are in great danger for lots of different things, like toxic substances, agents, or new hazards. And the way to protect those employees is by implementing these new rules. Just so you know, OSHA has other emergency-related standards dealing with COVID-19 on the books that requires your employer to follow COVID-19 protocols like cleaning, sanitizing, and ventilation, just to name a few. This is specially written into all OSHA emergency temporary standards. If the opportunities have legal challenges on the validity of the rule, those must be made in the appropriate U.S. courts of appeals. Lots of states already have rules not allowing vaccine mandates in the private sector, so no doubt there will be legal challenges.
There is no decision yet from the Supreme Court justices, but they did hear arguments Monday for over 3 hours over the controversial Texas abortion law. The High Court isn't hearing arguments on the substance of the law, which bans abortions after 6 weeks. Instead, the justices are hearing whether local governments can pass laws and sidestep judicial review, allowing private citizens to enforce the law through civil action. The Supreme Court is also determining whether the federal government can sue the state of Texas over all of this.
There are lots of lines of questionings from the conservative justices Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh talked about his concerns over the implications if Texas is allowed to do this with abortions. Could other states use the same mechanisms of citizens to intrude on people's rights through the Constitution? For example, with this, can states infringe on gun rights in the same way with no judicial review? The important note is that this is always good policy to take what the justices say during oral arguments lightly. Just because they may appear to lean one way during questioning does not mean that is how they will ultimately vote. Speaking of the vote and the ruling, it is possible that the ruling for this case will come much sooner than most cases that come before the Supreme Court. But now getting into some rapid news, and the clocks are turning back 1 hour on Sunday as it is daylight savings time this weekend.
Another member of the Rust movie crew alleges in a resignation letter that conditions on set were unsafe, saying he felt, quote, anxious.
According to a recent report, at least 18 billionaires got federal stimulus checks.
At the end of every episode, Nick, we like to throw in there a good news story. And you know what? Monday, I'm just going to say it. I am still wearing the crown of Monday Good News. Okay? And let's see if you can take it back. And you know what? I'm going to be the judge if you can take it back.
Yeah, so you got to take the crown on Monday when I wasn't here, but I'm back now. The crown is mine. It's back on my head. Let's get into it for this morning's good news. And for this morning's story, we have an example of a CEO, just showing some appreciation for her workers. So the CEO of the company Spanx decided to show her appreciation for her workers after they were able to form a partnership with another company. And it was a very big, $1 billion deal. So what she did was she gave every employee 2 first-class plane tickets to wherever they wanted to go, as well as $10,000 to spend on the vacation. And this was just given to every employee throughout the company. She announced it to the employees, some face to face, some through Zoom calls. Either way, she announced it personally to all the employees, gave them these plane tickets, gave them these $10,000 as a way to just congratulate her employees and thank them for all the hard work they've done. Because back when she first started this company, she had told everyone that she wanted it to be, she wanted it to, at some point in the future, be valued at, it's going to be a $20 million company, is what she said. And everyone laughed at her. But now she's, inking billion-dollar deals and expanding this company like never before. So this was her way of just thanking all the employees and just thanking them for helping her get to where she is now.
This is an excellent good news story, Nick. People didn't have faith in her. She kept on pushed through it, and then she's given it back to the employees. You and me have had this conversation privately before about treating your employees well, treat you well, they treat you well in return, and it's just a reverse cycle, repetitive all over. Shows character in her. It's great for the employees. They got a vacation. Just good all the way around.
You just gotta love the heart that is being put into this company from both sides. You've got the employees who have stuck with the company and who have worked and helped get it to where it is now. You have the CEO coming back and actually thanking the employees, and quite honestly, in my opinion, quite a big way, through these first class tickets and $10,000 each. So that's huge. That's absolutely huge. And it's like you said, you show these little, you give these acts of appreciation. The employees feel appreciated. They feel like they're truly an important part of the company, and that just makes everything flow a lot better and makes everyone happier. And I hope for more future success for the company, and if things continue like that.
I agree full-heartedly with what you just said. You summed it up perfectly, like you always do. That is the end of this Friday morning news episode. Make sure you follow us on BBP News for the latest 24 hours breaking news on Twitter. Follow our personal accounts to see what we are up to. Check out our Medium articles. But until Monday morning, everyone have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.